And we're back with another episode of Let's Play Shining the Holy Ark. I'm your host, the RPG Guy. And when we last left off, we were making our way to pretty much the end of this dungeon. We had looted pretty much everything of value from the dungeon. And in turn, we've gone back to town and we're now ready to kind of get to the end of the area here. Slowly but surely. Because there's still going to be some work to get that deep into the dungeon. But at this point, pretty much what we want to do is just melee fight our way through most of the battles here. We are going to take considerable damage, but we're going to be healing characters with party members outside the combat. So that way all of our characters will have maximum HP, health, what have you, by the time we get to the end of the dungeon. We've maxed out all gear for all characters via the town, plus all of the findable stuff. So this is as good of a party as you can get. We've also leveled considerably. Characters reaching the average level 18, 19, I believe. With a few exceptions to that rule. But as you can see, these enemies aren't much of a threat to us at this juncture. And our goal is to maximize XP growth while pursuing to the boss, which is probably one of the nastier boss fights of the game. I just pulled that. I don't want to pull it again. So at this point, it is now time to finish off this dungeon once and for all. That way we don't have to worry about it later. So we're way over here. And from here to here, which would be good. So we emptied this floor out of all of its treasure, so now we just have to get to the end of the pretty much the walkway that was here before. You know, I said in earlier Let's Plays we'll max out a lot of the dungeon maps, but this is one of the, you know, this dungeon and the final dungeon are dungeons that are not worth maxing out. You're better off taking the right path to begin with, because though you'll get extra XP and stuff for wandering them, we're at a point now in the game where wandering is not as beneficial other than gaining levels and finding treasure. Once all the treasure is found, there's no point in going off the beaten path. There's no benefit in doing that. So I tend to be one of those who are more inclined, individuals who's more inclined to just follow the main drag and make sure that we're getting there in the most efficient way possible, with some exceptions to that rule, as you would expect. So now we've arrived on the ceiling. Which is kind of bizarre for sure. Falling multiple floors. Oh boy. Clearly, we can't go that way. So we now have to fight more monsters. Alright, simple enough. As we're getting into another battle. What could this be? Something that is never simple. Alright, so later is the nasty little fight that's coming up here. So really, let's do some buffing. Attack. Support. That would be really bad. Ooh, that's good. Yeah, suppressed oil's magic, I could care less. Our healer, not so much. As we just took massive damage there. Use that. Luckily, we're faster than this boss, which is really important. Just gotta keep the pressure on him. And then really hope for some crits too. And then aura. Oops, I didn't mean to attack, but whatever. We're using attack leveling, so hopefully Jack Turk gets a turn before Rhodey, but that's not going to probably be the case. Well, I guess it was. So much damage. Pressure on. We've probably done over 1,000 damage, maybe 1,200 damage. I think he's got a pretty good amount. Yeah, we need to stop fucking around. He's gonna silence me at some point, and this is gonna be really bad if he does. And we need to heal Doyle separately. So aura it up, and then use that on Doyle. He's down. Definitely one of the harder fights, that's for sure. Ooh. We already have a holy plate, so that's a spare. Before we move anywhere, sweet. There's our little duder again. Teleport away. Welcome, you have had a long journey. Don't just stand there. Please approach me. Well, if you insist. I have waited long for you, and for this day, the day when the spirit of light would mature and would require my services. Those who wish to receive evolution, please step forward. Before we proceed with the evolution, I have something I wish to tell you, who have come to inherit the spirit's power. While it is a powerful force of light, the spirit also has a dark side. The ancient ones considered the heroes that the Creator granted the spirits to, the innovators, the pillars of the kingdom. However, public opinion is fickle, and soon people began to live extravagantly and took the happiness and riches brought to them by the efforts of those heroes for granted. This promoted laziness in the people, and eventually the dark side of the spirit was invoked. The kingdom was built on the premises of justice and peace, but eventually corruption and greed started to spread throughout the kingdom. Innovators who organized over the people's plight were somehow transformed overnight. It is at this time that the Vandals were created. As you see, the spirit is the source of all power, both good and evil. It has the power to create innovators as well as Vandals. I have often wondered why the creators would endow us with such a potentially dangerous source of power. We are being tested by the Creator. The Spirit is the Creator's own instrument to measure if a society has the ability to correctly handle prosperity. If the society fails this test, the Creator destroys that culture. Thus, ours has been buried for 1,000 years. This is why the kingdom collapsed. Spirit can be a very destructive power. Given a choice, I would prefer not to perform the evolution ceremony, burdening you with the power and responsibility of being an innovator. However, as the Vandals have already set their plans into motion, that choice has been taken from us. Let the evolution ceremony begin. Okay. The evolution is complete. You are now innovators, but will be able to use nearly superhuman powers. I'm sure you have many questions, and I'll answer them now. You became innovators the moment the ceremony was complete, but to say that the changes are complete would be false. Your powers will gradually increase over time. Immediate change is evident due to your evolution. Your new magic abilities are one aspect of this. However, there is one important thing I must tell you. Usually the ceremony of imbuing a spirit into a new host is held in front of the Holy Ark. Through my communications with the spirits in you, I now know that in your case, the ceremony was held somewhere else. I'm not sure why, but your connection with the spirits is very weak. Maybe it is due to the unusual circumstances. of your imbuing ceremony. It seems like the spirits want to return to the Holy Ark. The power inherited by Jack Todd will be enough to break the mystic barrier. Go to the Holy Ark and find out for yourselves what the spirits want. So that's pretty much the gist. If we look at our skills, we learned a new one. We learned damages by destroying wills. 60 MP, holy crap. Melody's gonna get a spell here called Restores HP of allies every turn, and we already get it at level 2, which is quite nice. Rhodey here learns counters magic effects on enemies, so it's a dispel. You know, so these two plus Jack Tard get special abilities solely based on that concept and principle. So the idea is definitely that these three have to be in the party, and then we got to start choosing our fourth character. I still like our loadout, our character setup right now, so I'm pretty much set with that, you know, any way you look through it. All right. Let's go ahead and egress from the dungeon. And we don't need that plate, I don't think, because all of our characters have that can wear this gear have it already, so we'll check. Everybody who has it has it. So we'll dump that off, and then we'll hit up the save point, we'll heal, the usual suspects. And then we got to figure a few things out here. So we make our way back to Enric Castle. We have the ability to go back to the Mirage Town, I think, anytime we want, I believe. Aren't you Jack Tart and his team? So it is you. I thought you'd already left for the Tower of Illusion. What? Why are you still here? If you don't get to the Tower of Illusion, Rylix and the others will be unstoppable. Hurry! Young people these days. You were goofing off somewhere, weren't you? You've done great so far, so I won't say another word. Hurry and go to the Tower of Illusion. I trust you'll be waiting for the good news. I think we already did this, though. We missed something? Did we not actually finish the Tower of Illusion? Oh, here we go. Okay, so is it true? Have you become innovators? It's only been a short time since you left. Are you sure you've completed your mission? The ancient riddles can be very tricky. It is possible that you have solved all of them so quickly. I presume that the world of paintings has its own unique current of time. Well done, Jack Todd. I think we have a chance now. Since your mission is complete, you must have mastered the legendary magic of Inferno. Now you'll be able to remove the mystic barrier created by Rylix. Go to God's Peak. I'm beginning to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Try your best to restore peace. Alright, there we go. Figured that out. Alright, so let's head back to town. And take care of just a few things prior to moving forward here. It's going to be a short episode, mainly because there's a handful of things we kind of got to do and that we'll need to dick around with off and on, because it all comes down to what can we get, what can we do, and how do we, in a sense, best utilize our time doing it. Infamously, it's all things that are easier said than done, right? All right. Okay, I think we're looking pretty good everywhere else for the time being. There shouldn't be anything at these shops of interest, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Let me think here. Let's go ahead and heal. So, ultimately, what are we going to do? Well, we've got some mithril ingots on us, but we're going to find some more going forward. And it's probably in our best interest, honestly. Definitely in our best interest to, per se, collect those and then have all the mithril possible, and then structure the characters, the main cast of characters, and what kind of mithril gear we really want. Because there's going to be some that's really good, and there's going to be some that's kind of unnecessary, and then there's going to be some that is kind of flies up in the air, and it just depends on how you feel. Like, is it, you know, worth it or not? Kind of a thing. There's going to be gear to also find inside the dungeon. So it's one of those things where it's like, is it worth getting the mithril gear now? Yes and no. I mean, we can bust our ass and try to grab, you know, more and more mithril, you know, equipment. But we'd have to save, reload until we get what we want. And that could take a while. It could also be extremely unnecessary. There's not always a reason to do it. So it becomes a conflict. It just becomes in conflict, I think. Or a conflict of, do you think you need it right away? Will it benefit to wait a little bit and get more? I don't know. It really just depends, you know, how you feel about it. So, yay. So pretty much, because here's the reason too, the other reason to consider this. We're making our way, in a sense, to end game. There's not going to be much left. And so that's why it's so desirable to make sure you're squared away. But like I said, there's going to be a whole bunch of debatable elements to what we're doing here. Because when we're now back at the Desire Mine, we should probably go this way, actually. And we're going to be running into enemies that have really cool drops, all kinds of new stuff. So, whole new way, new music. So, I believe we got to go this way. Which we could not go before. Nice. Take that. And there's another piece of another mithril ingot. So give that to Doyle for now. Dun dun dun. Alright, as I was gonna say, we keep moving, we run into more enemies. Alright. Hold on 1 second. Okay. We have 2 ways to go. Let's go this way first. This should lead us to delicious treasure. Alright. And we'll grab this guy. Alright. A really good item here. But we gotta move a few things around. First of all, let's get this mithril ingot to Basso. And then this claw can go to Akane. She's not gonna use it. And then this royal circlet is gonna go here on Melody. And that will heal her MP throughout the game, through in combat. Making that probably one of the best little items in the game when it comes to healing. Let's move that there, because we'll be putting that on Jacktard probably. Alright. Dun dun dun. Well, let's kick his butt. Since it's a new enemy here, Ifrit. That's fine, you waste that turn. Oh, yeah. And Rodai reaches level 20. Ferocity magic learned. Ooh, let's take a look. Increases attack of allies. So we could buff it twice the speed, because I still think it's single target, though. I could be wrong. The only way left to go, you can see from our map here, is this way. We're introduced to some new enemies here. Evil spirits, which were enemies we saw in the beginning of the game and never got to actually fight them. Well, that's not true. We did get to fight them in a boss fight, but that's a little different. They were accompanying a boss. Boom. She's not getting any EMP because she hasn't spent any, but we're going to have her heal up after this battle. That way we can see, double check how much MP she gets back. Nice. Jack turret reaches level 22. Finally breaking the 100 club. Cart Ghost. Beat him up like the rest here. Nice. That helps a lot. 4 MP. So 3 attacks, she'll recover the MP she spent to heal the whole party. Oh yeah. Whooped his ass too. Whee. And there it is. Alright, let's continue through the dungeon here. Now, bar stroke. Okay, so we're just gonna again pummel. We're gonna start seeing some new enemies here. And any crits we can get, the better. And he blew himself up. That's fun. And we get nothing for our trouble. Of course. I don't know, maybe you see level 4. Okay, so that's a sellable as far as I'm concerned. It's a cursed weapon. We all know in shiny games cursed weapons are the pits, so put that over there. Away from the characters who can use it. Let's give that potion up too. Oh boy, some usual suspects. Alright, Akane leveled. Cool. Okay. Oh, God damn it. Oil levels up, and Forte levels up. Meh. We get some Dragils. I think these enemies drop a really good rare item. But again, it's like anything, getting them to drop, it's another easier said than done. And like I have said in several episodes, you know, throughout this playthrough, we're hunting for treasure, we're grinding for drops as needed. And we're gonna definitely leave the dungeon and then come back and get towards the heavy duty, stuff. But the idea here is primarily that we do as much as we can with what we can. You can see they're all still alive, but there's like 2 enemies that have some good drops, and getting them to drop those drops is one thing. One of them, 6 of one, half dozen the other, but figure it out. I could grind them. I'm not that interested in grinding them personally, but I'll also show you don't need to grind them, which is another thing in and of itself. Still pretty healthy too. You notice we're not damaging it all that much. It's taking a while to knock him down a few pegs here. Mainly because I goofed, but oh well. We're already in too deep. At least it reaches level 20. Get I believe the last succubus. Yeah. Just pop that. Yeah, we gotta deal with the more big bads. Alright, let's keep moving. And another Ifrit. All right. Now I believe we have a few different ways to go here. We now have to beat another cart ghost. Can't get a break, you know. People always fucking pestering me about something. Alright, sorry about that, guys. It's like, hey, are you available, you know, for this later? And it's like, I don't know, am I? Should I be available? Why are you asking? Yeah, I screwed that up. Anyway, yeah. Okay, I always forget this part. I think we have to hit a switch. Well, just to be safe. I believe this is the other enemy that this is the other enemy I believe that drops an item. Both of them very good. Some more relevant than others, but eh. Nice. Sorry, there's not much to really say, guys. It's, you know, we're fighting the battle as best as we can, and we're just kind of chugging along. Melody levels. One of these dudes. All right, let's keep moving as I'm like zoning out. Okay, I think it's just, you know, it's don't worry, guys. It's standard zoning, meaning just standard wear and tear from sitting and playing a game too long in a day. All right, let's keep going. Not even sure what side he was coming from. But we get ourselves an evil vampire. Hit him hard. As hard as we can. Just so we don't have to deal with the nonsense later. Nice. Beat him down the rest of the way. I'm doing as much damage to him as I would like. Still coming right for us. Tastes like healing. Probably overkill. I believe this is the last of the incubi. Boris. Sweet. Alright. Kind of like the rest. Alright. Any of these there. Nope, didn't get him. Alright. Let's keep moving. Got a demon robe drop, but that's not very useful to us anyway, so meh. Alright, on the move. There we go. Okay, finally, one that's not an Ifrit. We're just, you know, pain in the ass. Pull the lever. That should help. We'll actually get a little cheap shot on this guy. Let's see where we are. Okay, so back this way-ish. We bumped into Stone Golem. New enemy, so we'll just beat him as usual. Hard, hit him fast, shove the sword right up his ass. There's a crit. It's still kicking. There he goes. Stone Ghoul. Not Stone Golem, Stone Ghoul. Alright, let's... What's she doing? She's doing really good. Let's max heal. Okay. Finally, we exit into a new area. Nice. Yeah, we gotta find another one of these armored vampires here. Evil vampire. Right, let's keep moving. Wow, got back-to-back battles there and got turned around, so that's always fun. There we go. Let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. As we're getting down to the wire with our pixies here. I believe there's only one left? Hopefully, because if there's more than one left, we've screwed up. Which is not a big deal, we just gotta figure out where we screwed up. I believe it is a pixie that is actually missing. Yeah, one pixie, meaning, and that pixie is in this dungeon if I'm not mistaken. Let's keep moving. Okay, really quick. There we go. I'm gonna make sure we got that. I believe that finishes what's on this floor to find. Really. We're almost as far as we need to get really in this dungeon before we need to leave, you know, kind of deal with a few things and then come back. But we're gonna get the last pixie here, Baldric. Sweet. And we now have every pixie in the game. Which means there's something we need to do before we, you know, finish out everything going on with this game. We'll deal with that later. Let's finish what we're here to do first. As this floor is kind of wonky. Alright, let's keep moving. Alright, let's keep moving. Alright, let's continue. I have a feeling this goes right back to the beginning. And it did, but we can at least see the route that we took. So clearly we gotta make a change to the track. Easier said than done, but it can be done. Mainly more for fast travel purposes. Alright. Carefully navigate this. I believe if we go around this way, there we go. That's, I believe, the final mithril ingot we can get. Wrong one. Alright. I believe from here. Wrong side. Alright, let's keep moving. And we get the shining sword, which is pretty much the best sword in the game. Let's give it to our main character. And then Jack Tard can give Horse Blade Lisa. Yeah, I'll leave it at that because it's such a big increase in breath damage resistance. I'd rather have that than the 10 attack. I'd rather have the 40 breath defense. He got his butt kicked. That's sellable as far as I'm concerned. All right, let's keep moving. All right, let's keep moving. All right. We'll grab that. Okay. Grab that boy. That covers all the chests pretty much for this floor. A little bit further we can technically go. Pull the lever. Drop down. Does that put us about there? So I'm going to make this episode go a little long so that way we can grab the last few chests that are in the area. Probably going to run from fights too just to speed things up here. Alright. Either that or I missed a switch somewhere, which is likely, but I don't think I did. So we make it to God's Peak. familiar looking area. Don't let your guard down, though. Because clearly there are things here that go bump in the night. Just to make sure we don't get freaking murdered here, we're gonna go a little more on the all-out side. Take a few of those, but not many. And he's down. And there we go. Very nice. I don't think there's anything in this one, but we'll check. We'll have to fight through this dude. Alright. There we go. Probably the last important item of the game to find. Deal with this. Okay. Nice. You can see our party is just running out of inventory space like it's, you know, going out of style. That's to be expected. Alright, so the last chest in this dungeon acquired. Oh, crap. Let's get the hell out of Dodge. Okay. And we may as well. So, as far as I'm concerned, every chest has been pretty much opened that had an item in it. We've pretty much, I believe, with maybe a few exceptions. But we've done everything that there hypothetically is to do in the game, with the exception of two things. First things first, though. We have all the switches, I think, set the way we want them inside the mine, so we don't have to do too much, you know, goofy running around. So let's do first things first. First, we're going to heal. For the obvious reasons. So we will stay. We will make a save before we do anything else, because I figure I may as well do it this episode for those of you who are super patient. And me being super patient is very awesome. We're going to go and complete pretty much the only real side quest in this game. And you'll see what I mean in a moment here. It was collecting of all the pixies, fairies, succubus, incubus, succubi, incubi, pixies, fairies, and leprechauns. Yes, we get a grand reward for this. So it kind of makes sense to utilize what we're going to do here in a very big way. We need to go back to the forest. First forest we ever visited. And I'm not going to make you guys sit and watch me walk through that whole dungeon. Okay, so this is, you know, we'll get to the point of interest. We'll use a fairy wings to egress out because we already just healed up. No point in having to heal again. And I'm going to explain what I'm going to do in a big way because we got a lot coming up. We're going to go to the Forest of Confusion and head back to the pond that is in the middle of this forest. So I will meet you guys there. All right, we've made it back to the pond here. Jack took the obelisk. It says Monument to Courageous Pixies. And we have every set of pixies. We're now going to make their appearance. The pixies first, followed by the fairies. Followed by the succubus, or succubi. Followed by the incubi. And the frickin' leprechauns. Well, hello. So you're the one responsible for collecting my pixies. I'd like to thank you for collecting all of them. Let me give you something for taking care of them. Jack Turner and the others receive the Pixie Bell. Beep. Please take good care of these pixies. Bye-bye. So we get this item called the Pixie Bell. It's the uber attack item of the game. I believe it breaks very easily too, so it is one of those things that you might say, hey, you're not going to really use that, are you? And it's like, well, yes and no, but it's going to be one of those, it's one of those items you use, you know, like the knife. No, I'm kidding. Like the knife in Final Fantasy IV, or, you know, what have you. You throw it at the final boss and you make do. That's pretty much what we're using it, going to use it for. All right. We're going to do a couple more things in the next 2 minutes here before we end the episode, because we are going on long. For the sake of simplicity, it is time to use the level apples. There's no point in holding off on this at this point. They're all going to Jack Tard. We want him at maximum level. So he breaks the 400 mark on XP. And the reason is Melody actually was the original candidate because she had not learned Aura 3 yet, but because she just learned it in the last dungeon, I really think she's fine. We don't need anything else going forward. So we can just feed this straight up to Jack Tard here. And then that'll create some room in her inventory. And then we got to reorganize all of these inventories in a big way. We need to make sure no character is holding on to useless equipment or items, especially the main 4. Heal Magic hits level 4. That's why it's also worth feeding him these level apples, because he gets revive magic and he gets heal magic, level 4 healing, so he can powerfully single target heal a character as needed. So there's that. So what we're gonna do here in the downtime is we're gonna be reorganizing all of these inventories. I'm gonna sell off all of the junk items. I'm also going to burn through all of this mithril, mainly because it is that time we need to burn through all of the mithril in a sense, in order to get you know, we don't have the best weapon for Rodi, and I believe it's a drop anyway, but we're gonna get him a better sword because he needs it if he wants to be viable. Melody's pretty much squared away. There's some armor pieces we could get for our ninjas, Doyle and Rodi, and Jack, and there's even one for Jack Tard we could pick up. Melody's, like I said, mostly squared away, and I'm not gonna mess with her too much with her equipment. And then really from there, it's just, you know, these guys are just mules carrying healing items, and we can dump off the stuff we don't need to carry, which is all of the cursed stuff we're going to be selling and dumping. So when we come back, I'll show you my final gear setup for our main character group. So that way there's no questions about what is what and how we do it, you know, how we're doing it. And I'll show you kind of what my characters will be carrying. I probably have to travel to other towns. So in order to, you know, kind of grab everything we need. Mostly the Mirage Village, which Mirage is going to be it's easy enough to get to. It's, you know, it'll have everything item-wise that we need. So with that said, I want to thank you guys for stopping by. Like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. Check out my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/XR for more live gaming action, because when we come back, probably going to be heading to Endgame. If not, it's going to be because it's, you know, we waste a lot of time in the dungeon getting lost, but we made our way all the way pretty much to where Endgame is, so grabbing equipment and gear. And like I said, we'll be squared away gear-wise and inventory-wise for the final time. So with that said, thanks for stopping by, guys, and we'll see you guys next time.